Hello and welcome to this video about core impact client-side attacks. So in this video I'm going to take you through how we do client-side attacks, and that will basically include first of all the email harvesting we do. Then I'm going to show you some phishing attacks. Um, and after that, we're going to do some client-side attacks where we send an email, and that will then run an exploit, and then we'll see if we can take hold of that machine. Okay, so let's get started. In front of you see impact. I am on the client-side tab here. That will basically change the steps here to client-side. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is client-side information gathering. So when I click on that, that will start a wizard, and in the wizard I have got a couple of choices of how I'm going to do the information gathering, which is basically the email harvesting. So I can first of all use search engines, so things like Google or Yahoo, Alta Vista. I basically type in a domain, and then Impact will look for that. I can look for patterns here, and then we'll basically go around those search engines and harvest email addresses or credit card numbers or social security numbers. So I can use DNS to do the same thing. We can use a website crawler, so we can crawl the website for certain information. We can just import email addresses from a file, or we can generate them from LinkedIn, and I particularly like this feature here. So this is what I'm going to show you. So in this case I want to harvest email addresses from from Core Security. Core Security.com. That's the domain. Company name is Core Security. And our pattern, so you need to set the pattern here, and it will basically, what we'll do is we'll basically search LinkedIn for people that work for this company, and then generate email addresses based on the pattern that you create here. So in our case, we basically got first name without a dot. That's our that's the format we've got. So I don't want to verify it with the mail server. I want to have the full name there, and I basically can finish that now. And this will basically go to LinkedIn, as I said, look at the people that work for that company, and then generate an email address for that. So this will take a couple of minutes. So we've found all these email addresses. As you can see. So that's an example of email address harvesting. I'm actually going to do a client-side attack now, but I'm not going to use these email addresses obviously, because some of these are real. So I'm just going to use my own Gmail account to show you this attack. So what I'm going to do is here I'm going to send it from address. I'm going to use a public email server, so I need to have a valid address. So I'm just going to send it from myself to myself. Tom at Gmail. And to myself as well. But normally you can, when you use your own email server to send it, you can obviously spoof email from addresses as well. So in this case, I'm going to show you a phishing attack. And with phishing, we can either redirect users to a different web page, or we can clone web pages, and that's what I'm going to show you in this demo. So I'm going to clone Facebook. Okay, I'm not using a proxy, and here we can basically either pick one of our templates, or we can create our own. So let's quickly change this. So just give you an example. See, yeah, that's fine. So I'm not going to use an SMTP server. So basically what Impact will do is it will use the sender's domain email server. So in this case Gmail, the recipient. So in this case the recipient is a Gmail address, so it will use Gmail's service, and that's why I had to use a legitimate from address. A couple of options here. We can also spoof. You can use a different agent if you've got agents on networks. We can spoof the URL prefix and the URL base, so that when the user clicks the link, they won't see that they're actually going or not going to Facebook. We're not actually exploiting, so we can't select the module. So that's been sent to my Gmail. So let's just have a look. Now here we can see sent by me. Obviously you can spoof that when using your own email server, but it says Facebook suspicious login activity. So I open the email. It says Facebook has detected some suspicious login activity. And advises you to reset the password. But we can click here to reset the password. This now obviously is not going to Facebook because it's going to Impact here. But of course I could spoof this as well. But yes, you can see it's going to a Facebook website, which is fake, as you can see here. But what I can do is put in my email and password, try to log in. Now we're on the real Facebook, and now we can actually log in. Okay, but what in the meantime happened is we got all the information. We got the browser information here. Okay, so we got the form information. So basically we got everything we need to now either further attack, because we know exactly, oh, it's still running, so it doesn't have any output, but so you need to ideally let this finish so we can have the proper output. But you can already see that we got all the browser information. which will enable us to do further attacks. So I know, for example, what plugins the browser had, what browser type, what the version is, but also I know exactly what the password is here. That's obviously not my real password, but that's what I typed in. The email address. Okay, so we've got all the information we need. We've got the password now, the email address, so I could now log into this email account. I've got this browser information. I can do further attacks. Yeah, so basically I've got all the information I need. But this attack is set to run for an hour, so to have the proper output here, we'll have to wait until this is finished, and then we'll have the all the information that in the module output here, which is in the top level, which is a bit easier to read. And again, the password here and the email. Of course, that's not my real password. So far the phishing attacks. So let me now take you through a different type of attack. This next attack I'm going to show you is going to be an attack where I'm going to actually attack the client, and I'm doing this in a different impact. This impact is on my sandbox environment where I've got a vulnerable client, just to show you this attack. So again, we're going to do the client-side attack here. I'm actually going to select. I've got a spoofed IT administrator account here. I can do this because in this case I am using my own email server, and I'm going to select it. Going to send it to a user here. I've got logged into one of my test systems. So I'm going to do. I can either do a multiple exploits attack here, which basically will target a list of exploits. So we've got. We can do it by application here, or we can try everything. So this is a good attack if you don't know what's on that machine. But if you want to do a more specific attack, so let's say you've done the previous attack, like the phishing attack, and you've got the browser details, then you know what's on there, so you can basically attach a more specific exploit. So for example, we can target here Adobe Flash, because in that last attack we saw that browser had Adobe Flash, so we can target that specific application. Okay, I could also send Trojans out, so basically we can create our own Trojan here. So I could, for example, create a PDF Trojan by selecting any PDF file, and then we will package an agent within a PDF file. When the user clicks on that link, we'll try to execute that, and basically, trying to take control of that machine. In this case, however, I am going to do a multiple exploit attack. So I'm going to try all these applications, and this is a good test to see to what applications this machine is vulnerable, or which applications are exploitable, and that will give you a good indication of what you have to fix on these client-side machines. Again, going to stick to the defaults. I am going to use a template here, so I've got a template here called security update, and this basically tells me, or this was basically an email that says, dear employee, due to the release of a new critical security update, please click here to download the patch we've got for it, or the security update. And remember, I'm going to send this from the IT administrator, so there's a good chance that people will click that. Okay. I can also display a URL, so when the user clicks a link, you can display a URL. It can be any URL, so you could, for example, create your own splash screen, downloading security update there. If you don't select anything, you'll just see please wait loading or something, as you'll see in a minute. I'm going to select my SMTP server. Basically, the agent connection method basically determines how, once we've exploited that machine, how is that agent to connect back, going to connect back to Impact. We can use HTTP and HTTPS channels as well, but in this case, I'm just going to connect from target. So the email is successfully sent here, so I can basically go to my client machine. So here I've got my client machine. I log on there. Basically, that user is logged in here. So I could, for example, go to my email client, receive the update. So that's the one I sent today. Here we can see Dear employee, due to release of a critical security update. Click here to download. It comes from the IT administrator. So 9 out of 10 users will actually click that. When they click it, it will bring up a website. Please wait please. So the user will think, okay, it's downloading the patch, but actually, as you can see, it's going to Impact and executing the attacks. So that splash screen is gone. The user thinks he's safe now, but actually, if we go back here, so agent connection received, as you can see there. So we can go to network here, and here should be a new machine 66. That was installed using a Adobe Flash Player, and we can now, for example, get a screenshot just to prove that it's that machine. There we go. And we could also, for example, because we've got a foothold inside the company now, and this is exactly what attackers will do. So they will send an email like this out, get an agent on one machine inside the network, and we can now do a network information gathering on that network. So discover all these other machines, do a network attack on these machines, and install other agents, and then pivot from one machine to another machine. Just to show you the screenshot here. So there we go. That's the screenshot. So you can see I actually got access to that machine. Okay, thank you for watching this this video. I hope that was useful, and please watch the other videos in this channel as well. Thank you.